Hi Virgo, welcome to Essence Reflections Tarot. My name is Krista. This is your reading for the week of May 13th to 19th, 2019. If this is your first time viewing my channel, you can check out my introduction video, which will give you a bit of an idea of my approach to reading cards. Or you can stay here and I can demonstrate my approach to reading the cards. Okay. So the first card we have here, and this will be talking about what's going on for you in your physical realm. It's the Page of Pentacles in reverse. The second card talking about emotionally what's happening for you is the Four of Pentacles. And mentally, you have the Moon. And spiritually is the Ten of Pentacles. So it looks like you have some major shifts going on in your thinking right now. And you have, other than the Moon here, you have all Pentacles. So it's all about the physical for you right now. You're thinking, your emotions and spiritually, physically, it's all about concrete, physical, tangible things happening for you right now. It's not as much the internal shifts happening. It's more to do with your practical reality, and that's where things are really moving or not moving in some cases for you. So when it comes to the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it seems like you're setting out on a new path physically, or you had maybe started and things are getting a little bit halted for you in terms of a new type of learning, a new physical sort of apprenticeship type endeavor. And it's something that is intended to bring you more stability and more prosperity, and you may be experiencing a bit of disillusionment or disappointment with it at this point. It's maybe not what you expected it to be. It's maybe not what you had thought it was going to be, and it's actually, in getting started with it, it's kind of sparked to life some thinking that was cloudy and very much disillusioning. However, if that hasn't already started to pass, as the week goes on, there is going to be a shift for you towards a bit more clarity, and that hopefully will relieve some of the stuckness in the topsy-turvy what's going on for you physically. Because it's not just physical where there's some stuckness, it's emotionally. It seems like you, as a response, have kind of hunkered down and are pulling yourself in and hoarding your resources to yourself, and emotionally kind of guarding your heart and not as open to input from, well, your thinking, because your thinking hasn't been where you really want it to be. And that's actually what's also causing you to stay stuck and not allowing you to move. Because you'll notice with the Four of Pentacles here, he is holding a pentacle tightly to his chest and blocking off his heart and his guts and his what he could be, or they could be relying on in order to follow their own messaging from their body and their own gut feeling on what works and what doesn't for them. And they also have these pentacles that they're standing on, so they're not rooted and grounded and stable. They're actually kind of interfered with in that way. So in order to move forward and to move through this emotionally, things need to kind of become unstuck and unclogged and not held so tightly against you. And a very good way to do this, if at all possible, is to move. Physically moving tends to help kind of loosen some things up. And if you're not able to get up and move around, and that way you can sing, or you can write, or you can talk, or do anything really that involves getting at least a little bit of vibration into your system and working through your system. And often we stay stuck like this out of fear. It's often fear that does this. So your intention when you're moving or singing or talking is to uncover what your fear is. What is it that you have had come up in your thinking that has scared you and made you think, oh, maybe that wasn't a great idea. Maybe I should stop what I'm doing. Maybe this new beginning isn't where I'm meant to be. And once you identify your fear, then you're a good way to, at least you have a bit of direction then for what you can do to move through the fear or move forward with the fear in spite of the fear. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. That happens all the time. It's a normal thing. Whether or not we allow it to stop us, some fears are legitimate, and some fears are a good warning from our psyche, from our physical body, that whatever's happening is not safe for us and is not a good idea for us, and we need to listen to that fear. But a lot of fears, especially mental fears, are ones that we are able to learn to work with and move through and carry on in spite of, because they can be either things from our past or our own self-sabotaging behavior that will keep us from moving forward and experiencing the things that we want to experience in our lives. And I do see that as you're getting a handle on this fear throughout the week, what starts to happen for you is that you're in a space where you're able to, at least on a spiritual level, feel a sense of relief and a sense of things may still feel a bit tight and a bit claustrophobic for you, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. that's the end of this cycle, and then you move into something new, and you can continue on with this new physical endeavor, whether or not, well, you can move on or move past, whichever works for you. When you've identified whether this fear is one that you need to listen to, or whether it's one you need to dialogue with in order to shift, when you come to that point, then you're going to feel a richness and an abundance, and it doesn't happen in isolation for you. It does happen in community, and it's important for you to surround yourself with your community, whether it's physically or whether it's your, or maybe you have your spirit guides, and you have a sense of those intangible presences that are around us that are a support to you, or maybe it's people that you know via social media or on the phone friends, whoever. Do people do that anymore? Have on the phone friends? Yeah. So really remember that you can work with this, and the key for you this week is to work through it physically, whatever that looks like for you, and however, maybe there's things you've tried in the past that have worked for you, or maybe it's time to try something new. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to take a long time, but just, kind of get things shifting and moving, and you might be very surprised at how well things move through for you, and you can move on to something with a little more breathing room for yourself. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it has resonated for you. If it has, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can go to my website, which is in the dialogue box below, or the description box below. And I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great week.